This guy checks all the boxes.
I just wanted to know, like, Chinese can ball too.
What was your celebration?
I was doing a little greedy, but I called it Chinese greedy. Yeah.
Jackson He, it is believed he is the first Chinese football player to score in a football game. Welcome to the Wrap Up presented by Samsung QLED. I'm Christine Williamson. If I look like I'm gonna cry throughout this show today, it's either because Miami got completely destroyed today, or it's because it's our last show and I'm just sad. Here are my friends.
I feel like I'm not supposed to be smiling. I wasn't prepared for that.
Looking for the friends she said she had.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, C-Dub. You know it's all love. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss us. Trevor couldn't even be here because he was so broken up about it. So, Kelsey Riggs. Big shoes to fill.
I'm a little nervous because if Trevor doesn't want to be with you guys for the last show, I don't know what that says about the other shows with you all.
We're not going to get into it, but just enjoy your maiden voyage.
We have
your curtain call.
So much. We have so much fun on the show. Don't worry. We're going to get into some things, starting with some Saturday shout. I'm going to sing so much today. Starting with some Saturday shout outs. We're going to start with the best big boy play. Okay. This is Utah's, I like his last name, Cole Fotheringham.
That is a good one. He's got the mustache.
Look at these bunnies.
When I see a play like that, I think did you practice that beforehand? There's got to be a subconscious moment where you're like, okay, now I'm going to jump.
He's been waiting his entire life to make that play happen. I couldn't really get over the aesthetic, the white snow on the ground, Utah's uniforms, the contrast of CU's, but maybe that's just me being like an old guy.
You really went deeper in that one than I was expecting. I thought you were going to say like how graceful he was as he jumped over, and you're like looking at the whole entire scene.
Yeah, I just was like, that's pretty snow.
By the way, that was Fotheringham's only reception of the game.
He
made that thing count. Let's go to the best ending. This was wild. Okay, Western Michigan versus Ball State. Western Michigan was really trying to score. And just count how many passes we have here. I tried and I just lost count.
I will absolutely not try to count how many times.
It was ridiculous. Because it just keeps going.
Do you know what this made me feel like when I watched it the first time? This is 2020, and if you start back with the first pass, that was like March, April, May. We think we're going to get out of it. June, July, August. There's a little time where we're like, okay, maybe we're still fine, maybe we're not, and 2020
just
keeps
continues
on
to go the wrong way.
And going.
We're going the wrong way, guys.
And you think it's over, right?
It's not.
Ball State did. Ball State rushes the field.
It's not over.
While the play is still happening, Jason Fitz and I saw this all transpire earlier on the college football show, and I couldn't believe that just pure anarchy is continuing to happen. But look at what happens right now with the flag on the field.
I love Kelsey's analogy for 2020 because this is 2020. This didn't, by the way, congratulations, Western Michigan. I'm so glad you guys were trying so hard, but it doesn't count. There was apparently an illegal forward pass.
Do you know who was really losing in that one? It was the refs for having to figure out what just happened.
There gets to a point in that entire sequence where the refs are no longer looking for a touchdown. They're looking for a penalty to throw the flag so that way all of the madness that is transpired, they don't have to keep up with. They get like, I saw something illegal, and that's where we're going to end it.
See the flag, we're done. Well, let's go back. Everybody get off the field.
Illegal forward pass. Okay, congratulations, Ball State, who did win the game.
That was madness.
Ridiculous. I would have just left if I was a ref, honestly, if I saw that madness.
I almost walked out mid-highlight. I was like, I'm tired of this, guys.
Gotta go. Let's go to the worst celebration. This is, so Maryland kicker Joseph Petrino missed this. Rutgers running back Isaiah Pacheco decided to do a turf angel.
Now, ladies, I want to know, why do you not like this?
I was going to say, you're going to like it because you just already were hyping up the snow, so you obviously probably love a snow angel. I was concerned about him when I first saw him flopping around on the ground, if I'm being honest.
Is he good?
Yeah, one of his players walked over and was like, oh, okay, you're good. That's what you're doing. This is how we celebrate.
Snow angels are fine if there's snow, and also maybe I'm of the age where I'm like, that's gross, because for the last 60 minutes, dudes have been sweating, dudes have been spitting, dudes have been bleeding right there. midfield, yucky, cockapoo-poo. C-Dub, how do you feel about it?
Well, my question, I don't know what I'm ignoring the cockapoo-poo because that's
No, you
odd.
didn't. You just referenced it.
But I do want to say, isn't it disrespectful to do that on the Maryland logo?
Maybe that was the goal.
think that's
Maybe
what it
we
was.
went Snow Angel, and he was like, "Yo, look what I just did," and we're.
What is respect?
I think you're right, Christine.
I feel like that's why he did it.
I think
exactly
you just
where
made
he
it
was.
cool, actually.
Yeah. I mean, Baker Mayfield did the flag. People were not happy about
Now
that.
that was cool.
Okay. Anyways, let's go on to biggest splash. This is Northwestern versus Illinois.
Okay.
And quarterback Peyton Ramsey got soaked. It was wet.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
And literally, like, I don't know how deep that water is, but he did not look excited when he stood up.
C-Dub, it doesn't look that deep, so thankfully.
Look at his face, though.
There's
Look at it.
nothing worse. There's nothing worse than having any part of your body, or more specifically, any part of your clothing wet when you have to continue about your day, unless it's a swimsuit.
Also, could that happen to a worse player than your quarterback? Because you're seriously, like, all you're trying to do is keep your hands dry the whole time and be, like, in the moment. And then, did you see him, though? He did. He lifted, like, water slide, like, down here as he's going down it because you don't want to get the hands wet.
I just wanted you to end the sentence at worst player.
Oh, no.
Could that have happened to a worse
It couldn't happen to a
player?
worse player.
Like,
He's
what do you have
awful.
against Peyton Ramsey?
Come on. He didn't do anything to me. That's not what I meant.
That'd be super funny, though.
Peyton, you did great. Don't listen to Garrett.
I do wonder, though, if some stuff got in his pants. I feel like that's probably why he was making that face. All right, let's go on to best flip. This is actually very scary. I feel like he did not try to do this on purpose.
What are you
Jonathan
talking about?
Sutherland.
What are you talking
That kid
about?
did not do that on purpose.
Bro, Jonathan Sutherland was doing the most. And this is not even me hating. This is me acknowledging a guy is that athletic that he could just pull that off because he felt like it.
Can we talk about how he just plays it off at the end like he did it on purpose? I don't do anything athletic like that. That's what I do when I'm walking like down the street and I trip and then I'm like, no one saw? Cool.
Unofficial poll.
He's just like, oh, I'm fine.
You thought it was an accident?
I mean,
Yes.
how do you plan that?
Dude's an athlete.
I feel like he had a forward momentum.
Yeah.
His feet got a little caught up, and then he jumped and then just happened to flip.
That was 100% intentional. You know why? Because I bet you if we check his Instagram, that is going to be a GIF on it because he looks cool doing it.
Oh, that just because it's definitely gonna be on his Instagram. I would put that everywhere especially the way he landed it.
It's athleticism, baby.
Oh man, that was.
You wouldn't know anything about that. All right, best
Facts.
pick.
Facts. Like,
By the way, Kelsey was also a college athlete, so you got two athletes.
I heard she played a little
in the
footy.
building.
Hey.
All right, this is Tennessee versus Vanderbilt. Bryce Thompson with the one-handed pick six.
I was not that kind of athlete. I was not the kind of athlete that could even remotely hold on to that ball with one hand, stay on my feet like he did, and then also make his way into the end zone. I mean, are you kidding me,
well,
Bryce
that's good,
Thompson?
Riggs, because you played soccer, so if you use your hands, you'd be in complete violation of, I think, the number one rule in soccer, which is to not use your hands. I just like this for them because the rap is, right, DBs can't catch. DBs are just receivers who can't catch. So I'm glad my guy right here is showing out for the DBs, and he may have had a little stick-em. That's not an accusation.
Okay.
That's just a visual, me maybe reading between the lines. He had a little bit of stick-em, but I like it.
Okay, let's move on to best moment. This is not only the best moment in college football today, I'm gonna say it's the best moment of the year. Sarah Fuller making history again, the first woman to score in a Power 5 football game.
Sarah freaking Fuller, and I mean, does it get any better than seeing her parents right there? What she's been able to do over the last few weeks for this team and the way she's carried herself for me, Gary, has just been crazy incredible.
Yeah, it's been super cool, right? Just exploded onto the scene the last couple of weeks and get thrown in a position where hopefully she's staying off social media because there's a lot of haters, but there's also a lot of people showing her love.
Oh, a ton
I
of
would
people.
have liked to see Vanderbilt let her boot some field goals. You know what I mean? Not just PATs. Extend that. Let her kick some
Can
field
we
goals.
not get too greedy? They at least scored
True.
this time. So
Also
we got
true,
to
making
see the
history.
extra. Yes,
I dig it.
Thank you. We're gonna love on you, Vanderbilt.
All right, worst sportsmanship. I cannot
We're going back to Maryland?
with this guy. Yes, because I'm not even gonna say his name. Not because it's hard, but because he doesn't deserve it. But this is Noah Verdral. That's not the name that I wasn't gonna say.
Okay.
But he gets injured on this play because the guy whose name I don't want to
Jesus.
say just decided to dig in there and twist his ankle.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not cool.
I guess the first thing you find out when you're a football player is like, hey, wrap up for a tackle. You're clearly not tackling the player there. You know what you're doing. That is not okay. I'm glad you didn't say his name. He doesn't
dirty.
That's Bush League, and that's one of those things where like there's sort of self-policing in games where a player does something dirty like that, and whether it be the next game, I don't know what happened in the ensuing series, but like your teammates usually have your back on that one, but that's just dirty. Like you saw the extra distance the leg went that's not supposed to go. Not cool.
It's rude. All right.
It's rude.
That summed it up.
Best doink. Florida versus LSU. Jay Ward.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It was off the helmet. Boink, boink, interception.
Listen, things were just bouncing LSU's way. I guess we could just go ahead and say all night because they ended up winning this football game. They weren't supposed to do that against 6th-ranked Florida. It was a bad night to be a Gator, and LSU was on upset duty, which is a far removal away from them winning national championship 11 months ago, Kelsey Riggs.
I mean, that was a doink. Then at the end of the game, you've got a shoe coming off, and it gets chucked down the field. That is a whole nother doink for the other team that went and, I mean, ultimately helped LSU win the game. So I would imagine that Florida fans not feeling too happy about this right now.
Florida's shot at the CFP is looking pretty slim. By the way, if you can't make it to the playoff in Miami, join us virtually for the College Football Playoff All Access Experience featuring exclusive content and the chance to win prizes. Register today at collegefootballplayoff.com/all access. Also, a reminder to all of you out there to watch the College Football Playoff semis. Both games will be held on January 1st on ESPN. All right, let's get into some highlights. We got number 15, USC at UCLA. A little Pac-12 action. We don't have that, and it's fine because right now, USC is down to UCLA 36-38. Wow.
You know what? Even though we don't have it, the very end of it is what is all that's going to matter with a 2-point game like that.
What's interesting, too, is that USC is in a position in the Pac-12 South to, like, seal their deal for the Pac-12 championship. So they have to – I think mathematically they're still not an absolute shoo-in because CU won today. But if UCLA upsets them, that's exactly why they play this game, and that's why every single person who picked USC, every GameCast, every preview was like USC is a 2.5-point favorite. And Mark Sanchez was on the College Football Show earlier today being like, 2.5 points, I think USC should get a little bit more. Maybe that's a little bit of home cooking. But Vegas knows what they're doing with these rivalry games, and 2.5-point favorites, and they're down by 2 points right now. So anything can happen in the next 52 seconds, depending on who has the ball, but, like, maybe we shouldn't be surprised.
With 1 minute left, no, you can't be surprised because it's a rivalry game. Like, you never know what's going to happen. I feel like throw out all of the records, throw out anything. When it's a rivalry game like this, no matter what's on the line, even if nothing's on the line, you just summed up pretty perfectly, I think, what is on the line for USC.
Chip Kelly, his first winning season since taking over the Bruins program, win, lose, or draw tonight. And no matter what happens on the West Coast, I'm pretty sure Social is going to be at a tizzy, whether USC comes back to win this game or UCLA absolutely upsets the undefeated, maybe up to this point, Trojans. Speaking of Social, C-Dub, what you got?
It is now time for the biggest social moments of today, brought to you by this Arrow by Samsung. We start with this snowman who is doing a great job during this pandemic.
No, he ain't.
What?
My man got no eyes, absolutely doesn't have a corncob pipe or a button nose, but he got a mask made out
That's
of
the most important thing that he needs in 2020.
What do you mean?
How you gonna knock somebody for not having eyes?
That guy ain't got arms, he ain't got eyes, he ain't got a nose.
They all fell off, but the mask stayed on. He did
nothing to
fine.
cover up.
That is so rude. He's
got a hat.
You can't talk
He got
about
ears to even put the mask.
They do not have ears.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna read exactly what this says in the rundown because I have nothing to say about it. Sorry, Christine. UNC's Sam Howell went off on Miami.
I mean, what you mean? You claimed Clemson anyway, so it's whatever. I mean, Sam Howell, he was spinning. We probably knew this was going to happen. UNC, you know, they had to play second fiddle to what Miami was doing. So Miami deserves that beatdown.
I mean, Sam Howell went off. Javonte Williams went off. Michael Carter went off. There's
Friend
the
of the
running back
program,
spot.
Kelsey
Yeah,
Riggs,
yeah. 500 yards between the two running backs and 5 touchdowns. And Christine, I just feel like you probably are not going to talk to us after this one wraps up.
C-Dub, how do you feel?
Yep.
First word that comes to your head.
That's what I expect.
I feel like we should go on to the next thing. It was raining at this game, and Torrey Taylor dropped the snap, and then he still was able to get a little air on the ball.
Hey, yo, this was
Actually very
hilarious
impressed.
because I saw this and I was like, that's got to be a violation of the rules. But when you got like a 300-pound dude bearing down on you, just any means necessary.
That's what I was going to say. The fact that he was able to, oh my gosh, just get, like, please don't hit me. I got to get rid of this. And can we, like, give him a little cred for how far it went? I mean, that was just like a toe ball at that point, right?
I said it was raining.
I think that's snow. I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was rain. I feel like when I watched it earlier, I was like, oh, it's raining. And then just now I was like, do I know what snow looks like? Because that's clear. Anyways, Zamir White, his nickname is Zeus. How are you feeling about that nickname? They really did the most here.
I like it.
There's nothing to not like about being nicknamed after a Greek god. Not just a Greek god, the Greek god, the dude who throws lightning bolts from the heavens. So you want to call the man Zeus with that stat line? Sure thing. Certainly wasn't Achilles.
All right, from Zeus to the Joker. I'm confused about this because what does this mean? Like, these are your goals? Nutrition, hydration, mental? What does this mean?
I have so many questions. I also feel like as if he's not already a good enough football player, now I need to connect with him in 2020 because I feel like he can really help me get my life on track.
Which ones are you not checking off the list right there, Riggs?
I think that there was
hydration,
physical, mental, all of them. Like, it's 2020. What are we checking off of that list, Gary?
Everything else.
Is it just me? I'm
I don't know.
suddenly feeling like I'm not doing something right.
He is very clear. Hydration, check it off the list.
I like how the last one was kindness. What?
Oh, I got that one, I feel like.
Be kind.
What? I'm
Be kind, dang it!
I'm confused. Okay, Navy apparently lies about their height on Tinder. But by the way, just before we go off on this, I checked. Tinder doesn't even have a height little thing.
She said.
Way to fact check that, Christine.
They don't.
She checked. She checked. C-Dub, you checked. You check like every day, right? For like the last couple of years?
Actually, I just realized.
No, he didn't.
Hey, I am on Tinder. Holla at me.
Oh, straight up. Okay,
We are doing it.
Swipe.
Please do not holla at nobody. We're not doing this right now.
You can't tell people to holler at you and then you're just going to give them the Heisman. Just straight up give them the stiff arm. That's just rude.
Anyways.
He's there. Find her.
Anyways, Gary, what do we got next?
It is time now for a historic couch conversation presented by Dr. Pepper. And why is it historic? Because he made history. And who is he? Kelsey Riggs. We're talking about Jackson He. That guy, center screen, throwing up the pitchforks for ASU, the first-born, Chinese-born player to walk onto a D1 football team and subsequently score a touchdown. And Jackson, you did that against your biggest rival, Arizona, in an absolute thrashing. So we have to ask you, what has life been like for you the last 24 hours as you join us here on the wrap-up?
It was crazy. My phone was blowing up, and then like everybody just showed so much love, man. I'm so blessed. I'm just so grateful for everything.
Your phone has been blowing up. The internet was blowing up. You literally broke the internet last night because so many people were Googling to figure out who you were and searching the website. And Gary and I were doing the same thing today. But what was that moment like for you when you actually got in the end zone, scored the touchdown after this journey that you've had to get there?
Well, first of all, I thought I didn't get into the end zone, but everybody started crowding up to me, and then I just feel like, oh man, I actually scored, and then it just my head just went blank, and then just everybody come up to me and then clapping my helmet, and then man, that moment was special. I will never forget that.
Jackson, it's insane because it's hard enough to become a Division I athlete on any level, but for you, let's give some backstory. You just started playing football. You didn't even really know what football was a half dozen years ago. When did it start? How did you get to the point where you're at right now, scoring a D1 touchdown in a game, and that couple years in between finding your way to stateside?
It was just I just got lucky to have like so many great teammates and great coaches, and then they just taught me well and prepared me well for everything that is coming. And when the opportunity comes, I just grab it, because I prepared to stay ready, not to get ready.
But when did you start playing football? Organized tackle football?
I started like 17.
3 years
like
ago.
17 years old.
That's insane.
No. Wait. 3 years ago? No, that was like 6 years ago.
Okay. Either way, still insane to like start half a dozen years ago and all of a sudden being in the Division I backfield. Insane. And then after you scored the touchdown, you pointed to the back of your nameplate, ASU, showing respect to your heritage and putting the name in Chinese font. This has to mean so much to you.
Yeah, it does. It's crazy. I'm just grateful they did this to me. And, they show so much love, man. Like, man, I love them.
Jackson, I know that you've heard from a lot of people, but you're far away from your family. What did they say about that moment? Were they up watching? I know there's a big time difference.
Well, they're not watching, unfortunately. But they saw the clips. I got a touchdown, and they were so happy for me. But at the meantime, they tell me that, stay humble. It's just a start.
Jackson, it's a hilarious story that you told us off camera about how you decided to play football instead of your first true love in sports. Share that with the people.
So at first I came to America. I would really want to play basketball because basketball is a big thing in China because of Yao Ming. But when I came out here, I found out my weight, my size. It's a little, not that fit for like playing high level basketball. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna choose something else. And then, so I was walking on the campus in high school one day. A guy came to me. He said, "Man, you so big, man. You should play left tackle." I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna just try it out." And then, yeah, that's how they started. Speaking
of playing left tackle, the guys that are in front of you, you call them what? And then tell us what they mean to you.
I call them the Great Wall because they protect me,
It checks out.
Chinese.
Jackson, when you got here, obviously you chose your first name, Jackson, to pay homage to what and to who?
It's because Michael Jackson, man. Like, I really like Michael Jackson. His moonwalk, and then he's all this crazy moves. Like, man, the first dance move that I learned is moonwalk, man. It's crazy. And then and Michael Jackson always sing the song like hee hee, and then my name got the he in it too. So it just fits well.
Listen, if football doesn't work out and what you're majoring doesn't work out, maybe backup vocals. Well, that probably won't work out either, Jackson. But hey, listen, man, shoot for the stars because everything that you go for, you generally do well in. So that being said, what's next for you at ASU? Post-football season, anything like that?
Well, right now, I just want to focus on everything that's coming right now, and then just be prepared for everything. That's the main thing. Just be prepared all the time.
Jackson, I love it. I wish that you could moonwalk us out of here and that Gary could. If you can't do it, maybe Gary can. I'm certainly not going to be the one that's moonwalking.
Absolutely not. That's 0 for 3. But Jackson, before we leave, thank you so much for your time. You've already walked on to the ASU football team. The next task, head down to the gym. Tell the hoops coach, listen, 5'9", 220. Hey. I can be an absolute defensive machine for you, all right? Go pursue that first love, Jackson. Congratulations on all the success, the history-making success. And thanks so much for joining us here on the wrap-up. Best of luck in the future.
Thank you. Forks up.
Wow, I love him. All right, let's get into some highlights because the college football world has been shaken up. Kicker Evan McPherson came up short for this 57-yarder, and guess what? Florida took the big fat L against LSU.
That's
wide L
that is
to
so
take the L.
There were conversations for them cracking into the CFP if the stars aligned in.
Even though they had already lost to Texas A&M, that didn't matter. People were high. LSU says not anymore.
Well, they're probably not going to have a very fun Christmas because they're most likely not going to be in the CFP. But guess what?
What?
It is that time of year, so we felt like we would get into the Christmas spirit. First of all, look at our beautiful holiday card. We will be sending them out to you. Please send us your addresses.
Look at Trevor.
We'll send them your way. Trevor.
He's there.
He's on there.
He's just staring into the abyss.
It's like the Step Brothers.
True.
Exactly. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We had to include him. But since it is that holiday season, we're feeling a little generous.
Yes.
And we're also feeling a tad bit grinchy. So we're going to give out some coal and we're going to give out some gifts. Gary, you start us off.
Okay, I'm going to start, and I do want to preface this because there's going to be a shakeup. The gifts were already wrapped, so to speak, so we're going to have a shakeup. But the first present I feel guilty giving out because this is actually the team that's gifted all of us, and when I say all of us, I mean America, with their presence this year, and I'm talking about the undefeated still Coastal Carolina Chanticleer.
Chanticleer, you nailed it.
Chanticleer.
The Chants, they're the
It is a fierce rooster, an angry rooster that has taken us into their life, into their locker room. They've brought us into their teal home. They've won every football game. They beat Troy today, even though Troy had them on the ropes. So shout out to the Chants for making a mess in their locker room and doing this. And gosh, I just want a mullet so bad, Kelsey Riggs.
Oh my gosh, I love it. They have given us so much. America's team is what they are.
They really are America's team. This is the first team you covered in your professional career.
I was going to say, my
We're taking it back home.
first job was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which is why I got to know the Chants really well. And I mean, for America to love them as much as Myrtle Beach and Conway, South Carolina loves them, I'm on board with it.
Go
Gary.
Chants!
I really love it. Go.
Stop saying that.
Chants.
Okay, what's next?
Have a chant. Well, I mean, so you gave out the good. I'm
Yeah.
the new person here, so that means that I have to be the Grinch. I was actually
love
giving out some presents this morning with a friend for kids on Christmas, and they said, hey, wear something Christmassy, and I had nothing Christmassy. So I am apparently a Grinch.
Already.
Unbelievable. I thought you were
brought
going
out-
to withhold the presents from the kids. That'd be hilarious.
Oh my, okay, I'm not that much of a Grinch. I am a Grinch though for this one, and like you said, a little bit of a shakeup with this one, because
Yes.
what I think happened is LSU found out
Yes.
that they were on the naughty list,
Yes.
Oh,
and so
that's
then they
probably
did what they did today.
Okay.
But the presents were already wrapped because LSU, we expected more from you this year. You gave us a great start to 2020, which was the end of your last season and winning a national championship and Joe Burrow, and we knew it was going to be a different year, right? He's not there. They lose their offensive coordinator. Things change. But what they did this season, Coach O, we weren't expecting it. You did really redeem yourself with the field goal there at the end to beat Florida, but I'm sorry, Santa cannot change his list that late. You were already on the naughty list.
That's messed up.
Santa is Coach O, though. We know that, right? That's like, he should be Santa.
CW,
That was pretty good, actually. That was good.
CW, you crushed it.
Thank you.
You crushed it. You want to give a present out now?
I was going to say, so
Okay.
now that I had to be the mean one, I'm going to give a present out now. And this present goes to the one and only
Wow.
Lane Kiffin. How can we not give Lane Kiffin a present? Because much like America's team, Lane Kiffin has given us a lot throughout this football season. I mean, dressed to the 9s and 10s right there, but also it's not just that, guys. It's the antics. For me, it's also everything on Twitter. I love a coach that engages and that just hypes
Valid
it up.
point.
That's something, that's a coach that I would want to be around,
was
want to play
still
for.
out on this.
The passion, I mean, the enthusiasm, Gary.
Lane
Get on
Kiffin
board.
himself is a gift. Let's
You
be
did a
honest.
good sell.
He literally
Okay,
is
fine.
a gift himself. But since he's a gift, Carrie, Carrie? Who's that? I don't know. Gary.
I can be
That's
him.
us.
You give
We
out
are
can be him.
Carrie.
some coal.
Yeah, that's
Terry.
fine.
I thought we were Kelsey,
I'm going to
but-
give a division, a conference that he came from, some cool, and that's the entirety of the Pac-12. Do you know why? And this really isn't their doing. It kind of is, but this season they actually gave us more than just one team to have hope and faith in, and I'm talking about Oregon. I mean, they gave us USC despite the outcome against UCLA. They gave us Washington. They gave us Oregon. Colorado's playing good football, but like, we only saw these teams play 4 or 5 games, and for that, like, yes, the Pac-12 is a Power 5, but since when have they given us anything to be powerful about? Even though C's uniforms were raw today. They have the best uniforms in college football.
I was going to say that's probably what they give
but
us.
like, they just got to be better. They just got to be better.
it would
It's
be
like the
nice.
kid who just has to be better. Like the kid whose parents is like, man, I love you because you're my blood, but like, just be better. You just got to be better, little
Is
Timmy.
that's the type of dad you're going to be.
That's 100% the type of dad I'm going to be like, hey,
going on?
you're blood. So I love
Okay,
you.
Gary, let's give away some gifts now.
Okay, I got to give away a gift. Hold on.
Yeah.
He was
Oh, gosh.
He was really rolling with
This
that
is one of the gifts. Parents, keep your receipts. Keep all of your receipts.
Just in case. You
You're
never
gonna
know
buy
what
your
might
kids
happen.
That PS5 or the Xbox or that new Samsung.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. You brought home a failing report card the night before Christmas. I was going to give the gift of a present to Florida, and then they laid an egg against LSU. All they had to do was win to remain in the CFP conversation, Kelsey Riggs. And that's the one thing they didn't do. So I'm taking that gift back. I saved my receipts, and I'm giving them a lump of coal because that's what they gave their fan base with the loss to LSU.
Switch up at the last minute in the fourth quarter.
I didn't want to do it, but I did it.
I mean, the Kyles deserved your present. They definitely did. They were good all year long. But then, if I'm a Florida fan watching right now, I probably agree with, I agree with you. Take the present away because you were not supposed to lose to LSU. All you had to do was beat a very not good LSU
At
team
home,
this
no
year.
less.
At
It's
home,
bad.
in the fog.
It's bad. What else is bad? And I've talked about this probably every single show that we've had. Is I
Miami?
hate. Yes, let's do it. Miami was the first to ever give a turnover gift, and the turnover chain works, right?
Yes.
It looks fly.
Yes.
Stop giving people turnover things. Stop giving pencils. Stop giving
Pencils?
saws.
What about
Somebody gave
chainsaws?
saws. Somebody gave a freaking
doesn't
pencil
even
last
seem safe.
week. Chainsaws. Like
took the chain-
literally
oh, yeah,
all
see, it
of the
doesn't have a
gifts.
chain
All of
on
the
it.
gifts are garbaggio. I was trying to speak another language. I'm
was
unsure
close,
why.
Yeah.
What is this? Oh, cool.
a card.
Here's a card. Thank you for being here. Thank you for
You
being
don't even like the
here.
donk?
I kind of
No.
like that. That one.
No.
Cincinnati's undefeated. Let them
Wrong
do what they're
sport.
going to do.
It's the wrong sport. Okay? We're not giving. What is this?
That looks like
a robe.
That's a silk robe, baby.
No, we're not doing this. I mean, you can't. We can't.
Yo,
We're
you're so
over it.
chapped about this.
It makes me mad.
Yo, you're so chapped about this.
Why did they give away a pencil?
Okay,
Why
the
is this
pencil I
person
can't
giving
get on
why
board
did you
with.
give a life-size card that said
The
I don't know
card,
what
the
it said.
robe, I like the robe. I love the dunk.
In this economy, we have to be more practical. Okay.
Here's
And
a pencil you didn't.
Not everybody can
And in case you
afford-
didn't do a good job, it has an eraser, and
Yeah.
we're gonna take it back.
Not everybody can afford a turnover chain. I get it. Guys, I said I was going to cry at the beginning of the show, and I haven't cried yet, but I'm crying now because this is our last show. So for that reason, we're going to take a look back at some of our best moments. Welcome to the wrap-up presented by Samsung QLED. I'm Christine Williamson, and I am joined by my two friends over there. We got Trevor Scales and Gary Striewski.
My name's Jeff.
Let's go on to toughest rep. This was absolutely hilarious, honestly, if I'm being honest.
Hey, he was so messed up, he put the mask over his eyes afterwards.
Everyone
Trevor smells good tonight.
Let's go to the worst fan. How about that? I have never in my life seen anybody clap like this. You do what you want when you pop it.
Straight up.
How about this baby?
Yeah, that
Dab is not dead. You know what time it is. Couch Conversations brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
By the screen, and that ball was picked off. Intercepted by Paris Ford.
Cartier frames donning right here, joining us on the wrap up. Former Pitt Panther and current disruptor, one Jalen Twyman. Joining the show, been doing because you're looking pretty aki right about now.
I'm trying to, man. Just a little bit. I can't get out too much.
As a player, I love how Aaron Rodgers plays. You know, he's my guy. But as far as his swag, the way he dresses, he doesn't have any.
We got these Halloween movie poster reactions. Hocus Pocus. Cute Trevor. I
don't know if I
Sisters. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the wrap up. I'm trying to make it into the bucket. Presented by Samsung QLED. We will see you next time. Oh, Lord, that was
my
so
God, I love
incredibly
it.
embarrassing.
Hey, C-Dub, remember when your Swiffer sword broke?
It wasn't a Swiffer. I bought that from an actual costume store. Leave me alone. But I would like to say
Say your receipt.
that shut up. I would like to say that I know you guys see us every single day on this show, but there are so many people that work so much harder than we do. We just have a lot of fun, and they do all of the heavy lifting. So thank you guys so much for watching this show and watching us just make a fool of ourselves. We will be back next season.
Speak for
all
yourself.
of those people, you're like the biggest fool on
letting me crash the show is what I'm saying. The last one.
Shouts to also Kelsey Riggs.
Shout out to Kelsey Riggs.
I mean, letting me. I'm
her maiden voyage.
Coming in.
And your curtain call.
Yeah, exactly. Hello and goodbye.
You killed it. You killed it. Thank you guys for watching. For all of those folks, thank you for watching the wrap up presented by Samsung QLED. We will see you next year. Bye.
She's not really crying, guys.